Now I already hand sanded this whole entire top section in the back with 1,000, 2,000 grit. You have to hand sand it because it's such a small area and there's no way the buffer is going to fit in here. Now we're starting off by spreading start level R compound, the best compound ever on this area. We're not putting too much, we're not putting too little, but in the little tight areas between the two cup holders, you're going to want to put enough just because it's hard to get in there with the mini buffer and with the DeWalt. Now I was going to pull these cup holders out, but I didn't because once I pulled it up, there's a bunch of caulk under there. I didn't want to rip the caulk off and I didn't want the caulk getting stuck in the buffer. So I'm just working in there real good. Get it under the pole. And we are using 3M tape. We got this tape at the part store for $15 a roll. It's expensive, but it works real good for precise taping. It worked well for the cup holders, the rod holder. Now right there where the blue tape is, that's just painter's tape. You don't want to use that for the whole boat. I just used it on that pole just because I had to use a bunch of it so that the black stuff from the chrome don't get all over my pad again. As soon as I'm done, I pull that blue tape off. Now this 3M tape, it can sit on there for days and weeks and it will not leave a residue like regular cheap painter's tape. Now we're slowly working it in. We're on 1,000 RPMs on the DeWalt. Once we're done working it in, we're gonna hit it up to 1,800. Now, when it comes to going up to 1,800, you do not want to get too close to that tight pole back there where the blue painter's tape is, because if you do, you can end up hitting the pole and it jerks the absolute crap out of your arm. You could break your arm, a lot of accidents could happen. Yeah, do not do that. It's not going to be a good day for you. You want to make sure your cord is never in your way. Definitely working in little areas like this because it's happened to us before. The cord has actually got wrapped up in the buffer and it was not a great day. Yeah, he had to remake the cord, buried it. One time the buffer actually got stuck in his shorts and he about lost his whole nutsack. So I'm very serious, you want to be careful. I've seen a post on Facebook where a guy's beard actually got stuck in the pad. Yeah, it did rip his beard off, didn't it? Yeah, it ripped his whole entire beard off. And that's why I always make sure my hair stays tied up. You do not want to lose your hair, your balls, nothing. You don't want to lose any of that great stuff. So I'm going up in this tight area right there. I'm on 1,000 RPMs. You want to have a nice, firm, tight grip on it. Just so if it does hit that pole the wrong way, you got it under control. I never did hit it with 1,800 RPMs just because it's too tight. Now I really don't have to worry about that too much since I brought out the Milwaukee buffer. We got this whole entire kit. It came with the buffer itself, 2 rechargeable batteries, the charger, came with the wool pad, a wax pad, and a polishing pad for $250. It's case 2. I don't know if I said that or not. It's pricey, but if you're doing this all the time like we are, you're going to want to have it. Definitely get in tight areas, corner areas. You can't restore the cabin of a boat without one of these. There's no way. If you try to do it, then you're going to have a bunch of missed areas and a pissed off customer. Now we're just tilting this and turning it, leaning it, doing everything to get in these corners real good. Then I end up going around the whole entire cup holders, making sure I got up in the edge real well. And surprisingly, I've never done this before, but this 3M tape worked really well for taping off the, what kind of screws did you say those were called? Oh, sorry. What kind of screws are those in the boat? Riveted screws. Those are riveted screws. They do not come out like some screws in other boats. So this tape worked really well because before in the past I tried to use painter's tape on taping off the screws around it, but it just blew right off with the buffer. So these actually stay on pretty well. Now I'm going up in these creases real good. You might have to hit tight areas like this twice, like you do on boat emblems, definitely for sure. You have to make sure you put enough in those tight areas too. Another reason why we taped off these screws back there where it's real tiny dot of green right there is because it makes a huge mess when you go to compound. Black gets everywhere from that chrome. It ruins your whole entire pad. And those big 3M real wool pads, those are $30 to $40 a piece. They're double-sided, but still, I mean, it's kind of pricey. They work really well, so you want to preserve it as long as possible. Now I'm hitting it real fast. I'm just going ahead and hitting the whole entire area, smoothing out everything, getting around the screws, getting areas that big pad cannot get just because it's so big and bulky. It's not going to get everything. You're always going to want to polish after this because compound and that wool pad leaves a lot of holograms that you will see in the light. Some people take their pictures of a boat job in the shade just because it looks so perfect, but we like to take our pictures in the sunlight.
Just wax it.
Yeah, you don't just wax it, you want to fully restore it, wet sand it, compound, polish, seal, or ceramic, whatever you're gonna do. Yeah, do not throw wax on this boat. And then I'm going ahead and getting out this residue that's stuck in the cracks. You don't want to leave that. You want to get as much out as possible. And at the end, of course, when you're done, go ahead and pressure wash everything. You want to pressure wash everything at the end because there is some residue that you just can't get out. I'm going around these screws real well. Okay, and then I noticed right here that there was an area that I totally did not stay on long enough. So I'm taking a little bit of compound and rubbing it on there, and I'm just going to hit it with the mini buffer right quick. Starting off slow with it. You don't want to go at full speed or it's not going to restore correctly. Okay, now I'm going at full speed because I got it all worked in there. Alright, and always when you want to restore a boat, do it correctly. Wet sand when there's oxidation. Do not just wax it no matter what the customer says. Wet sand and compound, polish, seal it. Or just wax it without sealing it, but we use Stark Hyper Hold polymer sealant by Stark, so it's really well. Alright, please like and subscribe. Did you say David?